folks, this quick little video is going to show you how you can get Autodesk software for free. Now obviously your programs associated with this course require you to have various different softwares to use, from 3ds Max to Autodesk Inventor and of course AutoCAD. So what we're going to do is show you the step-by-step procedure on how to do it. It's very simple, very straightforward, and you can do it anytime. They've even got some great deals for students. One thing I will point out is that this site does change fairly often, so the steps that I walk through may look slightly different when you're looking at it, but essentially the navigation is about the same. And if you just take your time, if something looks a little bit different, don't freak out, don't worry about it, just think it through and you should be okay. And, over the years, since they've started doing this, it really has gotten flashier and it changed a little bit, but the process hasn't changed hardly at all. So don't freak out if it looks different when you pull up your screen. Your first step, of course, is to go in and actually type in the address www.autodesk.com and hit enter, and it takes you to the screen that you see right here in front of you. Now, what we're going to do is have you create an account. Now, I already have an account, so there's some steps that I'm not going to show that you'll be able to figure out. But it begins with going to the Sign In tab right here. Now, I know what you're thinking. Wait a minute, I don't have anything to sign in with. That's okay, because it just takes us to the right place. So I hit the pull down right here, and let me try that again. Here we go. Sign in, and I go to Education. Okay. So now we're on the educational portal, community, whatever you want to call it. I want you to go down here into this area and find Create an Account. Now, this is the process that's going to guide you through the procedure. You're going to fill out this information that you see on the screen and blah, 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 blah. Now, when it says email, that's going to be the email that is your student account. That is your SCC student account, or KCTCS student account, I should say it that way. So you don't use your Hotmail or Gmail or whatever you may have, your Yahoo if you still have that. Use your KCTCS email here, otherwise this won't work. And of course you're going to have to click on these I agrees, and everything else. Now when you go through the process, it's going to send an email to your personal KCTCS email account. So you're going to have to get on to your email and then find the email that's sent from Autodesk and probably activate a link or something. Something will come through the email and it'll say activate this, and you'll click on it, and then your account will start to work. Once that happens, then you're actually able to come and log in. So you'll come back to this screen, and again, this won't work until you go and check your student email and activate the link they send you. But once you're back in here, you're going to go to Sign In, and you're simply going to enter in your information. So you'll use whatever you typed in for your email address, which will be your KCTCS one, and whatever password you established, and you can always click on Keep Me Signed In. So let me go ahead and do that myself. Alright, now that I've done that, I've signed in. Of course you didn't see that because I didn't show my information on the screen. But now that I'm signed in, I now have the ability to go and find the software in question. So it's very simple. I'm going to go to Free Software, and it's going to have a selection of products for students and educators. And this list that you're seeing right here is not even all of them. But let's say, for example, that I'm getting AutoCAD 2013. I'll find it in this group. Right here it is. So I click on AutoCAD. And it's going to talk about what version I want and everything else. So notice that your current student license allows you to have it for 3 years, which is pretty cool. Alright, so I'm signed in. I'm going to click on the version that I want. Now when it says version, it's not talking about your operating system right here. It's talking about what version of the software you want. So let's say that I'm wanting AutoCAD 2013. I click it. Then of course the language I want it to be in, English, and the operating system. Now this is pretty specific. Most of you probably aren't running Windows XP. You're probably running maybe Vista or Windows 7, and pretty much, or maybe even Windows 8. And pretty much most of you are going to be getting a 64-bit. If you don't know if your system is a 32-bit or a 64-bit, you need to take a few moments to go to your computer on your Start option. You can go to Start, and go Computer, you can right click and hit Properties, and it will tell you if it's a 64-bit system. You can see right here that mine is. And pretty much if you're running Windows 7, it's 64-bit. In fact, again, I doubt any of you actually are running a 32-bit system. But just in case, you need to verify it. So there we go. There's AutoCAD 2013. There's the language. This is the right format. And if you're running Windows 8, it also is a 64-bit system. Now, here is a crucial piece of information. Notice that they give you the name of the software, the file size, but they give the serial number and the product key. Now you're going to need to either copy this information or write it down, and these are zeros by the way, because you're going to be required to use that to install the software when the time comes. So that's the key thing. Write this down or take a screen capture, whatever you want to do. You need both the product key and the serial number. All right. Now the next one is the tricky part, and this is where people screw up a lot of times, especially with laptops. They want to go ahead and click on Install Now. I'm going to go ahead and recommend that you don't do that. The reason is the Install Now wants to do it through a download manager, and that download manager basically starts pulling little parts of the software off at a time to install. With Wi-Fi, the first second that Wi-Fi glitches, you're going to lose the download. It's going to be a horrendous operation. We don't want to do that. We want to get the entire executable, this whole nearly 1.5 gig file down first, then we want to try to install. So we're not going to use the Install Now. We're going to use this little down arrow right here, this little funky thing here, and we're going to click on it. We're not going to say Install Now. We're not going to say Download Now. We're going to say Browser Download. What it's going to basically do is let us grab the entire chunk and then pull it down. So I click on Browser Download, and it pulls it up on the screen down here at the bottom typically. Would you like to run or save? Now, here's another tip. Don't hit run, don't hit save. Click on the arrow and click Save As. It's going to take it to, wherever you want to save it to. And I recommend the desktop or downloads, somewhere that you know where it's going to be. Desktop probably is the best choice for those of you that are kind of new to computers. Choose desktop so that you always know where this file is going to be. The name of the file is right there. AutoCAD 2013 English, Win 64-bit. And I'm just going to hit save. Now at this point in time, I can sit back and relax and just wait it out. The fact is, it's going to start downloading the entire file before we're ever going to get to the install point. Okay? So this is my recommendation for how to install this software. And actually, we're not even technically installing yet. We're just getting the software. We're just getting the file to install. But this is my recommendation on how to do it to avoid as many problems as possible. Now, I also recommend this process, always trying to do a browser download instead of an Install Now feature, just because it reduces glitches. But we found a lot of times with laptops and people running off Wi-Fi, if they try to do a browser, if they try to do an Install Now or kind of a running install, it's not going to work or it's going to glitch on them. We always want to get the whole file at once. So anyway, I'm not going to make you watch me sit here for 2 and some odd hours to get this thing installed. I'm just going to go ahead and skip to the install part and show you how to take it from there. Okay? Alright. Now, it's not done downloading, but I'm going to demonstrate how it's done because I have a packet file already ready. Now you'll see that this is actually the 32-bit version. I'm not actually going to install it. I'm just going to show you how to get started, because once you actually get started, it's pretty easy. You'll notice that I did have a little screen capture of the educational keys. That's the same information I told you to write down, so that's why I have it with it. And all I'm going to do once I have this file, and of course again I should have waited till it's completely downloaded, but I have it in my folder. It's going to look kind of like this, or on my desktop, depends on where you saved it to. I'm going to prepare to install it by simply right-clicking on it and saying Run as Administrator. Okay? At that point in time, it's going to start extracting the data. Now, if you don't see Run as Administrator as your option here, then you can just tell it to run. But Run as Administrator is a better feature for us. So I'm going to Run as Administrator, and this little window is going to pop up. It's going to have the information, blah, 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 and I'm just going to hit Install. Now, what's going to happen is it's not going to actually install my computer because mine's a 64, not a 32. But it's pretty much straightforward from here. From here on out, you're going to go to Install, you're going to go Install Product, and you're going to type in your serial code and key that they give you, and you're going to be good to go. Okay? That's the procedure. So essentially, that's the software process, and it's not limited to AutoCAD. If you're in one of the other courses that's, I'm going to cancel this out real quick. If you're in one of the other courses that's maybe getting 3ds Max, you'll just do the same thing. You go find 3ds Max on here somewhere, 3ds Max Design, and do the same process. You'll see that the software setup and everything is still the same. Or if you're going and getting Inventor, that's Autodesk Inventor, which I am looking around for. I'm sure it's here somewhere. And first of all, you see that there's a ton of stuff that you can get. There it is, Inventor Professional. I'd click on it, go through the same process. And for those of you that might be interested in Maya or Motion Builder, and here, by the way, is a great program that you'll find very useful. So I can find it. The 3D Sculpt, that's a cool one if you have it. Of course, that's more of an app. There's a lot on here, and they keep adding more stuff. So you're not just limited to what we have. You can try some of these other free things because you have a student ID or student email address. So a lot of cool stuff, and you can even try your sketchbook programs that are apps too. So anyway, a lot of cool stuff to play with, and all very free. Okay, so that is the way that you get the software. The install process is very easy after that point. Good luck with it, and if you have any questions, you can check out some of the other videos that we have on installing on our YouTube site, or you can just give me a call and I'll be glad to help you out. Alright, well, good luck, and we will talk to you later.